Welcome to the History Channel. My name is Martha Flickerflacken, and I'd like to again welcome you to this very special day in our world's history. And that is today, and that is July 31st. So welcome. I'd like to start off with a little drink, a little toast to July 31st. Let's have a little sip, see, loosens the tongue a little bit. And what we want to do today is we want to explore this very magical, very important date in our world's history. And I'd like to invite you on a little journey together. And so that we can kind of explore what has happened on this day, throughout our world, throughout our time as people on this planet. And then later in the show, I'd like to talk about a very specific year, 1971, July 31st, 1971, because on that day, something very, very special happened that we will get to. So first, let's grab our computer here. Let me grab my computer, because, you know, I can't quite remember things anymore, so it's all kind of right here for us. And let us take this journey together. So if you sit back for a moment, sit back, relax, and let's discuss some things, shall we? So we're going to go back in time here a little bit, and I'd like you to wrap your brain around this a little bit. But 781, the year 781, long time ago, men running around shirtless and pantsless. It's a wonderful image, isn't it? It's just a wonderful, beautiful image, if you will. So 781, the oldest recorded eruption of Mount Fuji happened, 781. So men shirtless and pantsless, running away from this lava pouring everywhere. And must have been very hot and sweaty, Let's have a little beverage to that, shall we? Hot and sweaty men. 781, very special day. Very, very special year on this day. Okay, and then we're going to just hurl ourselves forward. We're going to hurl ourselves forward a bit here. And then 1423, the 100 Years' War. The 100 Years' War, the Battle of Crevant happened. The Battle of Crevant. And the French army was defeated at Crevant on the banks of River Yonne. Now, I've never been to this River Yonne they speak of. This sounds quite lovely, doesn't it? Sounds quite lovely. So maybe a holiday there. Maybe in the future we can holiday there together, everyone. And so now we're going to just propel ourselves. So we're just going to keep moving forward together on this journey on this July 31st. And we're going to hit 1498, and I know that date must sound familiar to many of you out there, 1498. And on his third voyage to the Western Hemisphere, Christopher Columbus. And I know you're familiar with Christopher Columbus. Round, flat, who knows? It's quite a mystery, isn't it? That's what discovery is for. But Christopher Columbus becomes the first European to discover the island of Trinidad. Again, Trinidad. Magical place, Trinidad. Never been. Again, maybe we can holiday there together. Time permitting. And so we're just going to move forward. We can keep on moving forward so we can get to this year, this 1971 that I speak of, this mysterious, magical year, 1971 on this date, July 31st. But we move into 1703, and 1703, again, wonderful year, 1703, like my vintage. 1703, Daniel Defoe is placed in a pillory, for crying out loud, a pillory for the crime of seditious libel. Seditious libel doesn't sound good, does it? After publishing a politically satirical pamphlet. But then he's pelted with flowers as his punishment, pelted with flowers. And that doesn't sound so bad, does it? Pelted with flowers. Like to be pelted with some flowers, maybe fed some grapes by some strapping young man. That'd be nice. That's not so bad, is it, for the seditious libel? I'm feeling a little seditiously libel myself right now. Anyway, so we're just going to keep moving forward through time here. And so as we move forward through time, in 1856, just a little blip in our history here, but in 1856, Christchurch, New Zealand is chartered as a city. Christchurch, very, very special place in New Zealand, Christchurch. Capital, I possibly believe, but I'm not really sure. And then as we move forward, we're just going to move on 1930. So we're 1930, 41 years away from this 1971 year I keep speaking of, but 1930, the radio mystery program, The Shadow! The Shadow! Can you see him? Can't you see him? He's a shadow. It's quite exciting. My mother, Bertha Flickerflacken, she's quite a fan of this show, The Shadow, as many people are. The Shadow, quite a mystery, especially on the radio. Anyway, as for the first time, 1930s, now we're just going to keep moving forward through our history, and in 1938, we're getting closer. 1938, archaeologists, these magical people, these wonderful people that dig, they love to dig, these archaeologists, discover engraved gold and silver plates from King Darius the Great in Persepolis. That's right next door to Martinopolis and Snuffleupagus. There's Persepolis. Very, very wonderful places, Persepolis. And so now we move on to new, more days that we're getting closer here, and we're moving, and we're having a wonderful time together, this wonderful time that we're having. And so we move up to 1954. So what could have happened? What could have possibly happened in 1954? July 31st, 1954. July 31st, 1954 was the first ascent of K2 by an Italian expedition led by Ardito Desio. And I would love to just have a little toast to Ardito Desio. He sounds like a lovely man. Doing all that climbing, he must have some nice calves and ass, wouldn't you presume? So let's just move on from that then, shall we? Okay, so now we're moving forward, and we're moving, and so we hit 1964. And in 1964, the Ranger program, Ranger 7 sends back the first class of photographs of the moon. The moon, how exciting is this? The moon, the whole big, wondrous, magical, lovely moon. And that's with images 1,000 times clearer than anything ever seen by earthbound telescopes. So earthbound people, these people here, never seen anything like this before. And then in 1970, we have Black Tot Day. And as you can imagine, as I imagined it to be, as I was wondering and then thinking and then reflecting how lovely it is to celebrate our African-American children. But that's not what this day is. This day, Black Tot Day, is the last day officially sanctioned of the rum ration in the Royal Navy. Quite interesting, this rum ration. It's something I'd like to maybe have another drink too. It just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it, this rum ration. So very exciting stuff is happening. Very exciting in this 1970. And so now we're here. We have kind of now landed on 1971. And so, before we get to the really magical, momentous, event that we have been waiting for 1971 as well, the Apollo program, Apollo 15, astronauts become the first to ride in a lunar rover. So again, the moon just loves this day in our history, this moon. And so they're racing about on the moon and having a good old time. And so while this is happening on the moon, another event here on Earth is happening on July 31st, 1971, here on Earth, and just as wonderful, and even if not more so, and more defining in our world's history, was the birth of Jennifer Hanley. The birth of Jennifer Hanley. It was a wonderful, momentous, joyous day. And it has contributed much more to this world than all these other events combined. So we'd like to recognize Miss Hanley today on this very special day. Her 40th birthday, 40 years she has been blessed with, that we have been blessed with actually, shall I say, with her on this earth. And I can say personally, it has changed my life, and it has meant so much in my life throughout the course of my history. So I'd like to raise a glass now. I'd like to raise a glass and recognize this most joyous, momentous of occasions. And I'd like to wish her nothing but a lifetime full of joy and love and laughter. So let's raise our glasses together, everyone. Let's have a little sip-see, shall we? And happy birthday, Miss Jennifer Hanley. Happy, happy, happy birthday. We have nowhere else to go from here but onward and upward. Thank you so much for joining me on the History Channel as we explore July 31st, and very specifically July 31st, 1971. And thank you for helping me recognize Miss Jennifer Hanley on this very, 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 very special day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.